Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime No Mi. In One Piece, the lineage factor was introduced and everything in the world is linked to this concept. Even the devil's fruits and people's genetics have what is called a lineage factor. In addition, this lineage factor can be a reference to the DNA, but with a more fanciful concept related to the powers, because they both work in the same way, in that they both have a similar genetic explanation that links people or beings, allowing them to have a link that can be passed on from generation to generation. In today's video we are going to talk about the lineage factor, how it works, and if through it there is the possibility of being able to gain an increase in skills, which is called the awakening of the lineage factor. And I already count on your help to leave your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you're still new here and leave your comments saying your opinions and what the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, the lineage factor in the world of One Piece is the blueprint of all life present in all living organisms. He was discovered by a research team led by Dr. Vegapunk, who was allied with Vinsmoke Judge, though not much is known about it yet. We know that this factor can be modified so that the character gains a lot of power. With research on the lineage factor, the whole family of the cook of the crew of the Straw Hat Pirates gained superhuman powers, only he had not gained this power. However, we saw that recently he also awakened his lineage factor gaining new techniques and superhuman resistance, but he underwent experiments, and this may have advanced the awakening of his power. But characters like Luffy, who are gaining a lot of powers and understanding more about the world of One Piece, like the powers of Haki that can also be linked to the lineage factor could also end up triggering his factor, so they can also somehow awaken the power of the lineage factor, be able to overcome the limit of humans. After all, we don't know the limits of the lineage factor, but it is said that it is linked to all living and non-living things. This being one of the reasons why characters manage to obtain abilities that are passed on from generation to generation and may even be related to the origin of devil fruits. All life forms have the lineage factor, and by manipulating it from an early age, a life form's growth can be altered. An example would be eating a devil fruit, as it affects the lineage factor, which allows the user to gain a supernatural power. Powers that initially the user would not have, unique powers, but by eating this mysterious fruit he would be able to change his genetics, allowing his body to acquire special characteristics. In order to be able to explain in an understandable way how certain mysteries of genetics work within the One Piece universe, the author created the lineage factor, and the explanation of the origin of the powers from the beginning of everything may have been the reason why the author could have chosen that name. One of these explanations would be how the devil fruit and even smiles works. Even though the origin of the fruits is still a mystery, and also the way in which it can work, we know that everything is related to the lineage factor, and this discovery allowed the creation of artificial fruits. Somehow the powers or change of the fruit's lineage factor makes the devil fruit take on a different appearance from common fruits, gaining different shapes and taste, as well as altering the lineage factor of the one who eats them. When someone eats this fruit, the lineage factor that was within it unites with the one who ate it, causing them to receive incredible powers. And that does make a lot of sense, because his lineage factor would no longer be that of a human being, because together with the fruit he was changed. This is the explanation given by Vegapunk and said by Law. Another way to explain the lineage factor would also be based on the creation of artificial fruits called smiles. Through ancient Vegapunk research, Caesar learned about the lineage factor and how it works, but it is obvious that his knowledge about this is still very little, as he was not able to create a perfect devil fruit. The only thing he was able to create was a defective artificial fruit called smile. This fruit rarely manages to give powers to those who eat it, and those who don't get the power by eating it suffer side effects, causing the failed user to just laugh endlessly for no reason at all. By applying the lineage factor, Caesar Clown was able to create sad, which is a key ingredient used in the development of artificial devil fruits, known as smiles, but as stated earlier, sad is not complete. Because the knowledge about the lineage factor is still very little, the only character who can have advanced knowledge about it is possibly Vegapunk, because he spent a lot of time of his life studying about it. So possibly it can achieve the creation of a component similar to sad, but its efficiency would be much higher, and it may even contain very low side problems or no side effects, unlike sad. With this knowledge, Vegapunk could even end up managing to improve devil fruits and create perfect fruits, making his power much greater and without disadvantages. However, risks may occur, such as the fruit rejecting the user, or it could even take their life little by little. The lineage factor may even be one of the reasons why devil fruits have the ability to awaken, causing the user to gain a huge boost in the abilities that devil fruit grants them. But it is still not known in what way, as we have not seen the moment of awakening of any character. We have only seen their awakened fruits, but it could be through a pulse of energy that runs through their entire body at the moment when their life was in danger or extremely exhausted, then causing his body to awaken some survival instinct or something even more powerful, then releasing that power that was dormant and that dwells in all fruit users, thus granting him new abilities that make the user even stronger. So this lineage factor is still something that that needs more research on, because for now its functioning is something unknown, but with the little that is known about it, we can deduce that it is capable of making human genetics to be improved. A proof of this would be the Vinsmoke family, where we saw that because Vinsmoke Judge worked together with Vegapunk to understand about the lineage factor, he also acquired a great knowledge on the subject. By researching the way the lineage factor worked, Vinsmoke Judge managed to come up with a formula in which he could make people become much stronger naturally just by modifying their genetics through the lineage factor. While his wife was pregnant, Judge forced her to undergo some surgeries that manipulated the lineage factor of the 4 children she was carrying. However, due to Sora's interference, only 3 of his 4 children were born as modified humans, at least that's what was initially believed. Continuing, after birth they underwent more experiments, using various tests in order to increase their development. Later these experiments were extended to their older sister. The experiment done with Ichiji, Niji and Yanji was a success. Only Sanji seemed to have been born a human with no powers, or he just hadn't awakened his lineage factor. However, he recently managed to awaken this genetic change, gaining new powers. Genetic changes through the lineage factor allowed Ichiji, Niji, Yanji, and Sanji to develop an exoskeleton, gain an increased healing ability, and with training, rapidly increase their strengths and attributes. Soon, these qualities develop at an equal point as experienced soldiers even while they were children and were in the early stages of childhood. However, the modifications also took away their ability to feel emotions. But so far this side effect has not occurred with Sanji, perhaps because he awakened this genetic modification a short time ago, or because he awakened naturally while he got stronger. We saw that he still remains with his emotions normally, in addition to having achieved the incredible superhuman abilities, even allowing him to withstand even more the heat he can generate through his legs, making his blows much stronger due to the incredible heat of the flames he can generate. Not only that, Sanji also now possesses incredible stamina, which allows him to not feel any pain, as because of his newfound stamina, even very strong enemies are unable to inflict any injuries. Unlike her siblings, Reiju did not receive the lineage factor modification during her birth. She was born as a simple human, but after her father succeeded in having 3 children with modifications that made them very strong, then he makes new changes and also tests on his daughter. As we know, this change in her lineage factor succeeded, causing Reiju to receive the same physical enhancements. However, in her case, the effects occurred differently and she still retained her emotions. It turns out that she has lost the ability to refuse her father Judge's orders, which could perhaps be a side effect or even something that Judge managed to implant in her, allowing him to be able to manipulate the lineage factor any way he wanted. This way he could alter someone's lineage factor, making them even stronger, as well as allowing him to be able to give orders through this alteration, making the person who is altered not able to disobey his orders. Something similar can happen with devil fruits. While Judge studied the alteration of the lineage factor of humans, Vegapunk studied about the lineage factor of devil fruits, allowing him to gain great knowledge on the subject. Like Judge, Vegapunk could also alter devil fruits through the lineage factor, allowing those who ate the fruits to not be able to disobey one of his orders. There are many possibilities. How to create a group of genetically modified humans who have a devil fruit also artificially created through the lineage factor. That way he could create an army of very powerful soldiers. Vegapunk may even be planning this, as with his constant changes that he was testing on Kuma, it could be an indication that he might be creating pacifistas capable of eating devil fruit. The lineage factor is still something that should be better explained, because through it there are several possibilities that can be explored in the anime, because just because it is related to the human being and the fruits of the devil, it is already something that makes us think in great possibilities. It is very likely that Vegapunk will still come to explain to us more about how it works and how he and Judge managed to find out about this factor and how he manages to modify them. Comment if you knew about the existence of the lineage factor. What other possibilities could be made through its modification? Leave your comment, your opinion. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga, so comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.